Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Hope you're having a wonderful day out there. I don't even know what day this is. What are we on? We are on Tuesday. Hope you guys had a great Tuesday. This is the Wednesday show, though. It's hump day. Make sure you get out there and do some humping, consensually, of course. And if you can, help repopulate the planet if you have the means to do so. Guys, I've had a pretty decent day. Not a bad day at all. I have a little weirdness going on in my back, right underneath my right shoulder blade. If I move my right arm too much, it feels like somebody's stabbing me. But that's it. That's the only bad thing going on. And it snowed, which I guess is also a bad thing. God, it's April. You know, Prince has a song called "Sometimes It Snows in April." What is that? I think that's on the Under the Cherry Moon soundtrack. Sometimes it snows in April, and my wife loves that song, and she first introduced it to me when we, got together. She's like, "Oh, I love this song," and I listened to it. I'm like, "Yeah, I guess sometimes it snows in April somewhere. I guess." Yeah, now I fucking live where it snows in April. April, snower, spring, May. Fuck, exactly. It doesn't help anything. It doesn't help anything. We don't need any more water in our system. Hey, Jack, what's up, my friend? Jack,
What? I just got here. What's up?
welcome.
How you doing? My internet's shit tonight. Just to let you know.
For the record, I am on my worst internet, but the most stable. So, if we do watch videos tonight, they'll be choppy as shit, but you'll be able to hear them all.
Yay!
Hey. Theoretically, because we've had problems on this internet too. So that's what the problem was the other night. But how are you personally doing, my friend?
I'm tired. How are you?
I'm not bad. I don't get to say that very often with that much belief behind it, but I'm really not. I'm doing pretty good. I know, right? Weird.
I don't know what to say to that. Hi, everybody.
This is like kind of a minor story. Did you see Matt Walsh's Twitter got hacked today?
I did.
Oh, they're putting out some horrible shit on that Twitter account too. Stuff about Ben being gay and hiding behind his Jewness.
Yeah.
Lock down your account. Two-step authentication, dude. It's not that hard to have it hooked up to your phone so nobody can get in.
Twitter only allows you to do that now if you are a subscriber or like you're paying them the money.
Really? Did they make that part of that? Ooh.
Last I heard, that was.
Ouch.
Because it won't let me do it unless I sign up and pay money. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm poor.
Well, I mean, how many people are trying to take your account?
God, I hope not. What a waste of time.
Hey,
what are they going to make me look like, an asshole?
Daily Wire can afford to get their people the blue check mark.
I got blocked by lesbians yesterday, so
I know, and that was wrong too. They asked for lesbians in love, and that's what you gave them.
I did. And this is the response I got from some bitch was, "This is why they don't want you in their safe spaces."
No, they don't want you in their safe spaces because that's where they're getting naked and you have a penis.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Hold on. I want to find that bitch's exact quote because it was funny as fuck. Total side tangent. I'm just derailing everything here.
Oh, no, it was funny because we log off the show last night and I see this thing from the Lesbian Project and they're asking for pictures for what's the hashtag lesbian visibility or something.
The hashtag is the Lesbian Project.
No, there's a second hashtag on there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, the Lesbian Project is just them, but if you go towards, it's the end of the tweet. You're gonna make me look this shit up, aren't you?
Probably. She said, "You couldn't have validated more why lesbians don't want men in their safe spaces." To which I responded with, "Safe space, lol." And Massive posted a picture of a chick eating a piece of carpet.
I saw that part.
I just saw that. That's funny.
Oh, you are right. It is the Lesbian Project is the second hashtag. The first one is lesbian Visibility Week. So there's 2 hashtags for it.
Yeah, they blocked me, so yeah, fuck those bitches.
Tall person, thank you so very much. Who says Happy Pinata Day? And this is Kyle. Thank you for that feminist $12 as we talk about the lesbians. Hello, chat people, Monkey and Jack. So I was bored yesterday and looked up the story of Arthas from Warcraft, then watched his death scene. You're completely right. That was amazing. Half to Jack. Well, thank you so much for that.
Thanks, Kyle. Hi.
Hey, Bloodwing. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Bloodwing.
Bloodwing's recovering from major surgery. So everybody,
Oh,
yeah, everybody give good wishes to Bloodwing there.
Hey, I hope you're feeling better, man. Yeah, everybody I know is having surgery. That's scaring the shit out of me. Getting nervous.
Well, we're getting old, man. It's we're getting to that surgery age.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to have surgeries. People need to stop getting hurt.
Especially the lesbians.
Yeah. Look, you send one video of lesbians masturbating, and everybody gets all bent out of shape.
And in fairness, it wasn't even them masturbating. There was somebody masturbating them, which I don't think counts as masturbation.
Yeah. I mean,
if somebody's doing it for you, it's not
love.
It's not masturbation.
That's more you're assisting someone else. I don't know, but the chicks in it were hot. I found a good link. It wasn't like a bunch of fat uggos. I gave them quality porn.
I expected them to get a lot more than they did because people have been very respectful. I was shocked. Maybe they've all been blocked. I don't know.
Probably. Sad. The world is a sad, horrible place these days.
People need to have more fun.
They do. They need to lighten the fuck up too. Everybody's a bunch of grumpy bitches.
And I think that's because they don't have fun. If they had more fun, they wouldn't be so grumpy.
Yeah, that's true.
If you run around grumpy, you're just going to be grumpier and more miserable. And the more miserable you get, the more miserable you get. That might sound redundant, but it's true.
Yeah, it builds on itself.
Yep, you run out there with a happy-go-lucky attitude, and you're gonna feel better than those people who are just, oh, what the life sucks. This guy sent me lesbian. I'm a lesbian. He sent me lesbian porn. I can't believe. I mean, I watched the whole thing, but I can't believe he did that.
Yeah, it was pretty hot, but what a son of a bitch.
Oh God, Jack, you ever have one of those synchronicity days where just the same thing keeps hitting you over and over and over again?
I have entire months like that.
Me too. And what we're going to be talking about tonight, you know who Abba and Preach are, right?
Yes.
I've watched Abba and Preach on and off for probably 2 years now. More off than on.
Yeah, typically, I don't watch them.
Typically, I only catch them if some controversy pops up. I think the last time I really paid any attention was when they got into it with Fresh and Fit.
Oh, yeah. That was a while back.
Yeah, it's been a while. Been quite a while. Well, yesterday, I got a video, maybe it was the day before, of them responding to Ethan Klein.
What?
And I was like, oh, all right, I'll check this out. And Ethan had a problem with some other person. I don't know the guy's name. I don't care. Look up Abba and Preach's video on it. And this guy, he had been on a whole nother podcast. Yeah, this is some Inception shit right here.
Yeah, it's podcastception.
So this guy, whoever he is, goes on another podcast and says, I don't want a woman who is running around showing her body to everybody, dressing in hoe clothes, basically.
Yeah, nobody wants a dirty hoe.
Oh, no. Hey, hang on. That's not true, apparently. Ethan Klein drags this guy onto his show and be like, oh, why don't you like that? Are you just insecure? And the guy's like, no, I don't want her dressing like that. I mean, if we go out, she can dress, sexy when she's with me, but I don't want her going out to the club, dressed in a bra and panties.
Sorry, but if you're married or in a relationship, you probably shouldn't be going to the club anyway. Kind of setting yourself up for problems.
I agree with you there. But Ethan, of course, goes full on vagina. Let's call him what he is here.
Yeah.
And I know the women should be allowed to do what they want to do. And the guy's like, yeah, they are allowed to do what they want to do. But if I'm dating them, they're not going to be doing that.
There's compromises in every relationship. What's the issue?
And Ethan just keeps coming back to, you're just insecure. And he pulls up a picture of Gila, which apparently she put out, where she's in stretch pants and barely a bra.
Oh, so because his wife is running around on him potentially, that makes it okay, or is it some sort of self-justification crap?
He asked the guy, he goes, is my wife dressed like a hoe? Yes, Ethan, she kind of was. And she was absolutely doing this for internet clout. Look how sexy I am. She's getting to be an older lady. She's popped out a few kids. Things are sagging, and she just wants affirmation.
Yep. Which,
Which, by the way, that's a dangerous position for your wife to be in there, Ethan.
Yeah, because she wants some affirmation, and now she's looking for it from other people.
Outside family. Yeah.
Stepping out with my baby.
If that's their thing, all day. Abba and Preach and this guy, they're all like, hey, if that's cool with you and that's your family, cool. That's just not cool with me, with my family.
Yeah.
All right. So
hang on.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Jordan250, for the donation. To cancel out that surgery stuff, today is the anniversary of rolling my car and walking away with only a few bruises. Cheers. Dude, you're lucky. I've known a couple of guys that can pull that off. Not many. My one buddy, totally dead sober, swerved to miss a deer, hit a fucking tree, rolled it into a ditch, went like 3 rolls into a ditch, had a near-death experience, walked out with like 4 or 5 small cuts and a couple bruises, trashed his car, completely obliterated. I couldn't do that because I know my luck. If I roll my car, I'm probably going to die on the side of the road with some little kid staring at me eating a piece of candy, going, you okay, mister? And I'll be like, get help. And he'll be like, I don't know anybody by that name. So I'm glad you're okay, Jordan.
Yeah, I'm glad they're okay. All right. So Ethan has this conversation with this guy, and Abba and Preacher talking about it. And they're like, look, he's not even saying women can't dress like this. He's just saying that he doesn't want that in his relationship. And there's nothing wrong with having those boundaries. It's not about having any kind of insecurities. And Abba even brings up, I think it's Abba. Yeah, it's Abba. Abba brings up, like, if you're a woman and you're having like a nice family get together, you don't want to bring a guy home who's sagging. Do you guys know what sagging is? That's the low pants. He goes, because it would be completely inappropriate for that situation. Now, is that you being insecure? It's like, no, that's not something that you would expect them to do in that situation. And if you're my woman, you don't go dressing like a hoe.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Ethan had a big. Well, what do you mean dressing like a hoe? Come on, Ethan. You know, we know what that means. So Ethan Klein decided to snap back.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
He decided to snap back and actually address the video that Abba and Preach made, and in it, he says this. Look, I wouldn't want her actually out there like showing her asshole to anyone. Well, why not? Isn't that her choice? Why are you being so insecure?
Yeah, I believe that's called a back hole. Does he have a problem with her showing her vagina off?
Well, I mean, given that he doesn't want her to show the actual butthole, I would imagine not the vagina either.
Hey, you never know. Some people are really weird about that. He's okay with her showing off the front hole, but the daddy hole's a no. I don't know, man. Some people are just weird.
I just think suddenly he understands what a boundary is.
It's very convenient how that works with somebody like Ethan, you know?
Well, it's convenient how it works with any of these people who try to pull this women can do whatever they want, whenever they want. How dare you suggest that there be any standards in a relationship? Oh, but yeah, not naked. No, of course not naked. Why not?
Look, I don't have a problem with women doing what they want as long as they're not my woman.
And that's what they were getting at, and that's what Ethan tries to pretend he just can't understand.
Yeah, well, Ethan's a fucking tard, so
Until it gets
you ducked there. What'd you say? Oh, still gone. Wait for it. Once he finishes his thought, he'll be back. What's up, chat?
God damn it.
Well, you just have to finish the thought, save it, and then repeat it. Because as soon as you finish the thought, every time you come back.
All I was saying is Gila's right there next to him the whole time, agreeing with him, and you can't tell me what to wear, but also agrees with the not naked. What? How do you understand that there's boundaries, but not allow for boundaries that you disagree with? He's not forcing women into relationships with him. He's just saying, if you're in a relationship with me. Yeah, real quick, thank you, JB. Tried to super chat, but it won't take credit cards. Keeps giving me a transaction failed message. Shrug emoji. It shouldn't be this hard. Talking about going through Streamlabs there. Sometimes we've had issues with banks who will not allow credit cards to be used on Streamlabs until you call them and go, yes, I was trying to make that transaction.
Yeah, it's really weird. I've found that's mostly seems to be the bigger banks like Bank of America, Chase, stuff like that. They get real pissy about you giving money to people they may or may not like.
I wish we knew what else to do in that situation, but yeah, typically what we found out is that's been banks blocking it.
Yeah, sorry, man. Everything is so damn complicated. You're right; it shouldn't be, but it just has to be to make everybody's life more inconvenient.
So, yeah, that was the Abba and Preach thing that jumped in my head because of Ethan. Ethan Klein is probably why I saw that video, not because of Abba and Preach. And then I watched one from today. Do you know what the fuck is her name? Just Pearly Things.
Yeah.
Just Pearly Things. Now, this is a chick I am only aware of because of her interactions with Destiny.
Yeah, that she popped in my timeline. Somebody had been talking about her, and I've seen clips of her here and there before, but the video you sent me was the longest I've ever watched her.
First things first, sweetheart, conditioner's not that expensive. Get yourself a nice brush and some herbal essence. Joe Biden can help you pick some out. Brush that tangled mess that's on your head. 2, sunshine would be great. And 3, Jesus Christ, you're an idiot. So you did watch the video I sent you?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know who she is, there are people who call her the female Andrew Tate.
I don't know
why. Because she's a manosphere chick. She's full on the manosphere. She believes that, like men should be able to cheat on women and women are just dumb bitches, which she does a lot to help prove.
Yeah, look, I'm not disputing that she's got some facts on her side. I'm sorry, I don't remember where I was going with that thought.
Understatement says the name makes no sense. She doesn't call herself that. She doesn't have to call herself that. I mean, she is just repeating manosphere talking points and not very well. But they had a video responding to her today. And it's
her responding to her responding to them?
It's her. They're responding to her responding to them. Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought. Yeah. It took me a minute to figure out which clip was the new one because they didn't do a very good job editing that video.
If you'd seen the first one, they did. And you can tell by the change in clothes. That's how they do their videos.
Well, I was listening to it for about half of it, and I had to go back and watch it again because I was like, wait, what? Which one's what? What's happening here?
Oh, no, those you definitely have to watch. Thank you, Cryptic. Do you know what is crazy about the Chinese language? They made a language entirely out of tattoos. True. And Shio, thank you. Thinking of having Chipotle and Taco Bell tonight so that when I get sexually abused by TSA tomorrow morning, at least I'll enjoy the pat down too. Well, there you go.
Nice.
You'll hate it for today. But anyway, so just pearly things here. I'm just going to play the opening of this video because she tells a story here, Jack. And it made my brain hurt. It just made my brain hurt. This is her, for those of you who've never seen her before, in all her glory. She's going to tell you how to get a good man. She's never got one herself. She's going to tell you how to be a great woman. She's not one herself. But always listen to the experts who are barren and alone to learn how to not be barren and alone.
Today, I am going to be reacting to Avin Preach's hit piece on me.
When you have a house, there's a lot of chores. There's a lot of shit to do around the house. A lot.
Now, the original video, Jack, is them talking about how women are tired and say that they want to have. Are you laughing at the face?
Yeah.
They don't want to have sex, because they're tired at the end of the day. They had to go to work and then they come home and do chores at home and they're like, I'm worn out. That's the original video.
Uh-huh.
And she works all day bringing that paper, that stack, and then she goes home and she still got to do some work. It's gonna take a toll, and she doesn't feel like it's separated at work. Like she doesn't feel like the work is equally separated at home. It's gonna be a burden. It's definitely going to be a burden.
And see, like, this is the thing. A lot of these reaction channels will try to nitpick, and they'll be like, well, if she's working, the chores are going to be hard. Guys, marriage is supposed to be hard.
No, marriage is not supposed to be hard. It just is.
Yeah, it's hard because women are crazy.
It's supposed to be hard. It's really not. But she's about to say something so ridiculously stupid, my brain literally had to do a reset.
And I've told this story like many times on my channel, so I'm just going to tell it again. There's a relative of mine, and this relative was married for 50 years. And this woman did not believe in divorce. Like it was just not an option in her book. And her husband actually left the family for another woman. And she prayed to God for a solution because that was her belief. She did not believe in she did not believe in divorce. So her husband leaves, and the side chick died. He came home and she didn't throw it over his head. She asked where they went wrong in the marriage and how they could fix it. And that's the thing. Like, a lot of times people in our generation are so quick to throw in the towel. Like, people used to have their husbands go to war.
She compared a man leaving his family, moving out, and only coming back because side chick died, to men going off to war.
Let's face it, Monkey. If you have multiple relationships running at the same time, I think you'd rather be in a war zone.
Sure, I'm not.
Imagine dealing with that much estrogen and non-synced periods. Jesus Christ, I don't understand why men cheat. I really don't. Like, just leave the bitch, because do you really want to deal with trying to remember 2 cycles?
I agree that marriage is thrown away way too easy these days, but I don't think a good example is he moved out, left her, moved in with another woman, and only came back because side bitch died is a good example of that.
I mean, yeah, but if she's that gullible, she isn't gonna know about the third chick you're banging. I don't know. The story to me doesn't make a lot of sense. It just sounded like that woman was sad. Like, she was hung up on the relationship, couldn't get past it, never bothered to realize that the guy was a stepping out dog. So, yeah, I don't know.
He moved out and only moved back in because side chick died. Hey, people used to go to war. I don't understand the point there that she thought she was making.
Yeah, that comparison didn't make a lot of sense. Look, some of what she says, I kind of agree with, but some of it I don't. Like her weird analogy about great aunt or whoever, hanging around waiting for this dude that pining over a guy that ditched her and the family for another woman. I don't get that. Like, I understand you don't believe in divorce, but that doesn't mean you take him back. It just means you take all his shit. That's usually how that plays out. Also, back then when that happened, it was probably a period when there was not a no-fault divorce.
Probably.
So somebody would be responsible. She probably could have cleaned him out, which would have really helped her position quite a bit.
Well, there's another great part in this video where, this is obviously about relationships and living with other people. And she goes, I grew up with 9 siblings. I know what it's like to live with other people, because a roommate or a girlfriend or a wife is exactly the same as, growing up at home with siblings. She's not real good with the analogies.
No, she's not.
She's really bad at them.
Really, I don't think she has anything really like planned out. She just starts talking off the cuff. And as we both know, sometimes that just leads to weird analogies that don't make any sense, because we've all done it.
Donald Camp, thank you. I went to war and I have an ex-wife. War was more fun. Half to Jack, please. Thank you for that double feminist $12.
Thank you, Donald. That's fucking hilarious.
That is
Proves
funny.
my point, though. At least if you're in a war and the enemy's like, why did you sign up? To get away from my wife? Oh, fair enough.
Oh God, she's too inexperienced for what she's even talking about. Brittany Venti just did a video on her. I'm gonna have to watch that one.
Oh God. Real quick, thank you, Shio. The 80s band Anthrax was the bomb. Sorry, getting it out of my system now.
Fair enough.
I liked Anthrax when they got the lead singer from Armored Saint. The albums those guys did then were way better than their previous work. Until that, I think it was Sound of White Noise was the first album. And that was a great album. It had Package Rebellion, which is a great song that relates very well to modern era. Thank you, Cryptic. How did the Asian rabbi extinguish his birthday candles? Hebrew. Get
Nice.
it, Hebrew?
I got it. Evolved Potato says, it seems like she has some idea of real issues, but she doesn't understand them at all and is too dumb to realize. Yeah, I agree with that. I think she repeats talking points that she's heard. Even if she does agree with them, she doesn't understand them in any kind of meaningful way. She's a privileged rich kid is what she is. And I get some more experience, learn more, and don't talk as much. I've seen her on Destiny shows and arguing with Destiny before, and she's just Destiny's way out of your league arguing. Stop trying it unless you're better at arguing. But god damn, she just is stupid. And to come back with, I'm sorry, men went to war. I fucking lost it, Jack. Men used to go to war. Well, yeah, but that's not banging another chick while you're at home. Thank you, JB. Well, I'm buggered. I called the hotline on my credit card and the transaction isn't even showing up on their end. I guess I can tell you it's a TD account, so I don't know. I'm also in Canada. Sorry about that. LOL. Thank you so much. I appreciate you trying. I really do.
Half to Jack. Thank you, JB.
Fresh and Fit, Andrew Tate, etc. are gurus. Pearl is just an entertainer that gets asked about her opinions. She's somebody who's coming up through the ranks. She'll be the next Andrew Tate because she's still allowed on YouTube. I watched another video from Fresh and Fit today, Jack. Or sorry, not from Fresh and Fit, from Abba and Preach. It was another one from that moron Ethan Klein. He was blasting them for a video they did about Andrew Tate getting kicked off the platform. And instead of actually watching the video, what he does is he brings up the video. He goes, "These two idiots were talking about it," and then he asks, "Has anybody watched?" Nobody there had watched the video, and so then they go on to talk about what the video's about without ever having seen it.
That sounds right.
Abba and Preach's point in their video about why they shouldn't have canceled Andrew Tate wasn't even a free speech argument. It was that if you get rid of Andrew Tate, a new Andrew Tate's just going to pop up. One who knows which lines not to cross, where he can still push the same message without crossing that line that's going to get him kicked off. And that was their only thing. They weren't even saying that stuff should be on YouTube. They were just saying it's still going to be here, just in another form. And that fucking retard, these free speech people, well, would they like it if it was the KKK? And a funny thing happens in this video, Jack. Ethan responds to 2 black people and 1 white people, 1 white person, 1 white people. And when it's the white person, Ethan's like, maybe that's a point. And when it's the black people, both times he goes, "Would you like it if it was the KKK?"
That's a bit reactionary.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's almost like he has different reactions for different colored people.
Well, we have seen him do stuff like that before. Did he say that the Hodge twins had monkeypox?
I believe he did, but don't quote me on that. Cryptic, thank you. My neighbor's wife got lost last week hiking. Police formed a search party for Mrs. Singh. God damn you. For Mrs. Singh. I see what you did.
Cryptic's on fire tonight.
Oh, man. Yes, 1 white peepo. At the end of their video to Ethan, the one that came out either yesterday or today, it's wonderful because he calls them cowards in that video. And at the end, they rip on him for being a fucking coward who doxes people and shouldn't even be on the platform because of it.
Yeah.
I was just having an Abba and Preach kind of day, man. No matter where. And then I go over to Twitter and I see that Weibo is kind of talking about them, and her and Hammer have a discussion about Abba and Preach. I was like, I guess I'm supposed to be watching Abba and Preach today.
I would take that as a sign. Like, they seem like they're okay dudes. I do like that Preach carries his shoulder holster.
Yeah, have you noticed nobody's made fun of him about that, like they try to do with Crowder?
Yeah, well, Crowder looks like a dork. Preach looks kind of hardcore.
Oh, Preach used to be a bouncer.
He looks like he used to be a bouncer.
People always think I saw a video where they were talking about this. They think he's fat because if you see just like where we did, where they have the camera.
Yeah.
It's just this dude with really wide shoulders and a very thick neck. He has a fat neck. Sorry, Preach. You got a fat neck. But if you see it backed out, he's a big motherfucker. He's not fat. He's just big.
Yeah, he's just he looks like a bodybuilder type.
Yes. Like one of those guys that got the air hose shoved up their ass.
Yeah, a big dude. But yeah, him, Ebba and Preach seem like pretty okay dudes. They're just not my content. You know,
I like them depending on what the subject is. I find myself disagreeing with them on occasion, as you do with everybody. Typically, that tends to go to more lefty, righty kind of things because they're more permissive of stupidity in the world than I am. But when it comes to stuff like this, yeah, I didn't disagree with them with anything on the videos I was watching, especially the Ethan Klein ones. What a fucking retard that guy is. Anyhow, Ethan looks like a hobo. Ethan is a hobo.
You said it with a B, not an M. Maybe.
And Gila looks like she wishes she could make $100 as a hooker. I blame Trisha Paytas for that. Jelly is a scared woman. Maybe that's it. Maybe the whole Trisha thing when he was getting so close with her made Gila lost his mind. I have no idea. I just know that everybody's like, don't pick on her. Fuck her. She's always part of the problem. She's always right there with him saying the same stupid fucking shit he is.
Yeah, she's an enabler at the minimum. But she does tend to say the same shit. She just sits there quietly most of the time while he says retarded stuff, never stops him, never corrects him, and half the time she joins in with little snide comments.
Let me tell you, if there's something you guys like, the majority of the audience thinks I'm wrong on, there's a good chance my wife has told me I'm stupid for saying it. She doesn't just sit there as I say stupid shit. She's like, all right, Frank, knock it off. All right, okay. That's not true. I don't stop, but she fights back. She doesn't just go along because she's my wife. Fuck, she's argued with me on here before. Gila is part of his problem. They are the same shitbag. So fuck him. And yeah, he absolutely should have lost his channel for not only doxing the wrong person.
And then encouraging a dog pile on that person.
He should have been kicked for the doxing. He should have been kicked for doxing the wrong person. He should have been kicked for encouraging people to send biohazard waste to people.
Yep. Encouraging terror attacks.
We got a suspension, Jack, for watching a commercial that was played on television for a political campaign. That's how touchy it is when it comes to us. This motherfucker doxes people and encourages sending biological waste. Yeah, he got a couple of days off for a completely different issue on that same episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, but fuck it, right? Who cares? He makes Susan a lot of money. Anyhow, Jack, I don't know if you knew this, but Twitter has quietly dropped long-standing rules about misgendering and dead naming.
Oh boy.
Yeah, this is according to Glad. This is from the Pink News. Elon Musk Twitter rolls back policy protecting trans users from misgendering and dead naming. Protecting them from being told they're biological males or biological females, and people using Justin Dennis instead of Riley Dennis. Whew. How many lives have been saved over the years because of that, Jack? How many people are still alive today because Twitter once said you can't call that biological man a man?
Countless lives.
How many lives were saved because Zuby got in trouble on the platform for saying dude to a dude in a dress?
But feelings.
Twitter's quietly dropped a long-standing policy protecting transgender people from targeted dead naming and misgender. How do you target dead name someone?
I have no idea. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
You just wait until all you do is wait for them to post and then put their dead name up there.
Yes, it's like stalking, but with names.
By the way, dead name is a stupid term for that.
It absolutely is.
You know,
that name is dead to me. Grow up.
You know what would be a much better name for that?
An alias?
Real naming.
Oh, yeah. Legal naming.
Birth
legal
naming.
And shaming.
Birth naming doesn't have the same impact that dead name does.
Name assigned at birth.
Yeah, there you go. And you know what? That would actually be correct.
Yeah.
The social media site owned by CEO Elon Musk has changed its hateful content policy to remove the sentence about targeting misgender or dead naming of individuals that specifically protects the trans community. Twitter's policy, which prohibits targeted harassment, including repeated slurs, tropes, or content intended to dehumanize protected categories, has been in effect since 2018, prior to Musk's acquisition. Prior to this move, the platform's hateful content policy read, "We prohibit targeting others with repeated slurs, tropes, or other content that is intended to dehumanize, degrade, or reinforce negative or harmful stereotypes about a protected category. This includes targeted misgendering or dead naming of transgender individuals. The removal of the final section, which referring to dead naming and misgendering, was described by LGBTQ plus nonprofit GLAAD as the latest example of just how unsafe the company is for users and advertisers alike. GLAAD CEO and president Sarah Kate Ellis said, the decision to roll back LGBTQ plus safety pulls Twitter even more out of lockstep with TikTok, Pinterest, and Meta, which all maintain similar policies to protect their transgender users at a time when anti-transgender rhetoric online is leading to real-world discrimination and violence. It sucks, man, because now these LGBTQ plus, well, actually, it's not the L, the G, the B. It's only that T. And, you know, all the made-up bullshit that comes after the T.
Yeah, the plus.
Nobody's dead naming gays, lesbians, and bisexuals because gays, lesbians, and bisexuals use their given names. This is word salad to justify censorship. You're close. It's not word salad to justify it. It's an emotional appeal to justify it. They're protected. Don't you get it? Without this, they're no longer protected.
They're not in their safe space anymore.
There's going to be violence in the streets because of this. It's the same nonsense with if you don't let them get hormone therapy, they're going to kill themselves.
Yeah, it reminds me of a little kid throwing a tantrum. I'll hold my breath because you're a meanie. Shut up.
If anybody would like to read the rest of that stupid ass article, I will throw it into chat for you.
Real quickly. Thank you, Cryptic. In a few minutes, a hypnotist convinced me that I'm a metal with the atomic number 82. Turns out I'm easily led.
Nice. I would like to point out that Twitter also seems to have lightened up a little bit with their ridiculous heavy-handedness with the C word.
Oh. I thought you were going to say Eliza Blue, but...
No, I dropped the C-bomb on somebody the other day because I couldn't help myself. And I was like, well, I'll be gone for a little bit. And now it's still up.
I have a theory about that.
Do you?
I just came up with it. See, Elon Musk is from South Africa.
True.
And where is Australia said to be fictionally located at? All the actors? Africa.
Oh, is that really where they say it's at?
Yeah. So
I
you're actually in Africa. And everybody that you run into is an actor because Australia is not real.
And yes, guys, I have to say C word because I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, we're not allowed to say that no word.
If we say that no word, we get the yellow circle.
Yeah, and well, there's not a lot of money in this field to begin with, so
True story.
Need those pennies.
Well, yeah, I'd seen it popping up quite a bit more, and I see no reason why it shouldn't be allowed. So, I mean, if you think it sucks being dead named, imagine being called the horrible C word.
Yeah, the whole dead naming thing. I mean, your argument could be that you went out and murdered somebody and then changed your name. So to bring up that your former name is dead naming you because it brings back those horrible memories of that murder you committed.
Right.
So you're dead naming me, you monster. No, you're just being a weirdo. Knock it off, freak. I don't care about your trans thing. Just stop pretending you're something else. You know, that, oh, I changed my name. So what? That's still an alias that you have, you idiot.
Matt Walsh didn't drop the N-word. His account got taken over.
Yeah, he got hacked.
He got hacked. I think if you're trying to make the point that trans people are just like everybody else who need left alone, saying that they desperately need protected from their biological sex being mentioned.
No, they need protection from hurt feelings.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. I mean, you're talking about people who are emotionally unstable.
Yeah, you're an emotional basket case if you can't handle somebody calling you by the wrong name that you don't prefer anymore. Boo fucking who. You know who has this problem all the time? Married women. Because they have to fill out their maiden name constantly.
What else do we have? I would show the stuff that Matt Walsh said. You know what? I will drop this into chat. The first place I saw it was Andy No. If you guys really want to see the shit that went out on his account today, there you go. Check that out. That's just a little piece of it from what I understand.
Yeah, there were quite a few things. Oh, thank you, Shio.
No.
What's wrong with the centrally located University, North Texas? Why is there an interstate in Hawaii?
My real name is Jill, but I hate when people call me that. But it's not a dead name. It's still my name, whether I like it or not. Yeah, Francis is my name. I don't answer to it. I go by the name Frank or Monk. These days, even in real life, I tend to accidentally call myself Monkey. But yeah, my given name is Frank or is Francis, and if you say it, it doesn't hurt my feelings. You know why, Jack?
Because you're not a pussy.
I'm a fucking adult.
Oh yeah.
Get over it. They call me that.
We don't raise adults anymore. We raise victims,
We do-
childlike victims.
100%.
They are toddlers emotionally. They can't handle criticism. They can't handle not getting their way. So they throw little pussy crybaby fits every time something goes slightly askew from what they want, even if they didn't tell you what they want. And that is baby brained thinking. It is a very childlike, infantile way of going through life that is not going to lead to success. It's going to lead to misery and problems later down because you've not gained any ability to deal with problems, to do any kind of problem solving or tolerance for anything. You're going to be a miserable, frustrated, anxiety riddled mess of an adult. And that is not a recipe for success. People need to shut the fuck up. Oh, you hurt my feelings. Get over it. Life's hard. It's going to get worse.
Well, Jack, to that point, that's a good segue to this little thing. The first ever Disneyland After Dark Pride Night is coming to Disneyland during Pride Month in June.
Oh, an orgy? Wow.
This separately ticketed event celebrating the LGBTQIA plus community and allies will have themed entertainment, Disney characters, specialty menu items, and more.
What, you going to get to yiff with Goofy there? Stupid. That sounds like discrimination, too.
Look, man, the happiest place on earth, the gayest place on earth, gay means happy.
Yeah.
The gayest place on earth is getting a little gayer for one night in June, where you can go live out your fantasies that you're still a child as you get molested by Goofy and Mickey and Donald.
Or you're going to do the molesting to Mickey, Goofy, and Donald. I don't know. I think this is stupid.
It is stupid.
You're playing favorites. This is creating some sort of bizarre safe space for people too much money on their hands and not enough emotional equipment to deal with being called the wrong word. This is fucking dumb.
Look, it is quite obviously not for children.
Yeah.
It's for adults to go hang out. And I like amusement parks, Jack. But when we've gone, when we last took our kids to an amusement park that had the themed characters, it was to, I believe, King's Dominion, and they'd signed with whoever owned Nickelodeon at that time. And they had all the Rugrats there. It was when they were still popular. And the kids loved it. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I wasn't like, oh my God, I get to meet Tommy or Angelica because I'm a grown-ass fucking adult.
Yeah. Squee! Oh my God! You got your arms up and shaking your little fists right under your chin, like, oh my God, it's Goofy. I love Goofy. Shut up. God, the immature. Like, you can be a nerd and not be a fucking degenerate toddler.
How much you
I
want?
hate these people.
How much you want to bet all the Disney princesses have beards?
I'd bet a couple of them do. Plus, there'll be a few plus size. I don't know. This is fucking stupid.
You know what?
People are so like in their own heads.
It's no longer Disneyland. They're turning it into a furry convention.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They're going to start yipping each other. It strikes me
Are
as
you saying you
odd
didn't
that
want-
you have to have these exclusive nights for select groups. Find that weird.
For adult groups.
Yeah.
Because this is not for kids. And if you're bringing your kids to the first ever Disneyland After Dark Pride Night, you're a degenerate piece of shit.
He's probably trying to get their kid raped.
Or has done it and just wants to brag.
Yeah.
So, yeah, grow up. You can still like things from your childhood. I still do, Jack. But there's a difference between how children like things and how adults deal with things.
Yeah.
That line has been blurred to fuck.
Talik's not wrong. Disney does things for kids. They do it for adults who insist on remaining children with no growing up. Yeah, it's sort of like that. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. And I think they're just, these type of events just alienate the LGBTQ plus further from normal people. You're just creating like, oh, we have our exclusive days. We're better than you.
Well, Jack, this one comes from our friend Mike Harlow I mentioned yesterday. He had retweeted this out. I don't know if you saw this. Here's some drag story hour for you.
What?
I'm just going to let the picture sit there for a second so people can get it all in.
Yeah, soak all the manly chest hair in. He's wearing a werewolf sweater.
Oh, it gets much worse.
Don't doubt that at all.
Because they're reading a children's book.
Of course they are. And he's like, come over, sit on my lap.
Oh, no. Wait till you hear the content of the children's book.
For fuck's sake.
On the drag queen, go shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody know what a shimmy is? Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
I think I have that
Shimmy,
on
shimmy,
board.
shimmy.
Every
The book
parent
says-
that brought their kids should be investigated.
And the drag queen goes shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Did you notice this child stood up immediately and knew what the shimmy, shimmy, shimmy was?
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
This isn't grooming your children. What are you talking about? They're just reading books to kids. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Yeah. To less disturbing news, a parking garage fell down in New York today.
I heard about that. Killed a couple people, right?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I don't know if there's actual video of it falling, but there's immediate aftermath. I'm not bringing any of that shit on the screen. But yeah, it's 5 or 6 stories, and the top just collapsed.
Yeah, that's kind of weird because usually they have pretty strict building standards in New York.
I will throw the story for it into chat if you guys want to check it out yourself. This is one that we could probably get away with it on the show. I just don't want to bring it on the show. Occasionally, Jack, there's ones where like, I don't want to cover that, but it is something that needs covered.
Yeah.
But yeah, the top corner of this thing just caved right the fuck in. And you know what? We'll probably find out that it was, Lieber Wolf says old building, perhaps. I will probably find out that this is an old building where there was probably even an inspection recently. And we're like, yeah, you guys need to fix that shit. And they went, we'll get to it.
Yeah, and then they didn't. Or they greased some palms.
Yeah, we'll find out that something went wrong here because, yeah, those buildings aren't made to do that. Yeah, fucking just caved right in. And hope the ones who can be saved are, because, god damn.
Yeah, that's rough, man.
All right, Jack, we're going to change our attention again because John Ratcliffe was up on the Hill today.
Oh, yeah?
John Ratcliffe was up on the Hill today testifying about COVID. And, well, we're not going to watch the whole thing. You can find it on YouTube. You just look up John Ratcliffe. I think I typed Fauci afterwards. You can find the whole. He's the former head of DNI, Department of National Intelligence, and this is Mrs. Maliotakis. That sounds Greek. Is that Greek?
That sounds very Greek.
Okay, do Greek women take it in the butt? Because I know the whole going Greek thing is anal sex. Do Greek women take it in the butt more?
I don't know. They're pretty hairy, so you might not know if it was a dude or a chick.
Thank you, Tallbot. Links. Walsh's Twitter hack was the result of what looks like a SIM clone off his phone. Not just his Twitter is affected. They can see his incoming text. Oh, shit.
That's not good. And I'm pretty sure that's Talbot links.
I'm sorry, what?
Talbot, not Tallbot. There's only one L.
You broke up as you were saying that. What'd you say?
The name, Talbot links, not Tallbot links. The person who donated.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's dude, it's not that I don't understand what you're saying, it's that I can't hear what you're saying. I keep cutting out.
Yeah. You said Tallbot's links. I think
Oh,
it's
okay.
Talbot.
All right. Are you really trying to help me get names right?
Dude, I can't help it, okay? I try. I know it's pointless. I'm awful. I do the same thing to you, but I don't like getting people's names wrong when
Son of a
do
bitch.
super chats. What?
My internet keeps cutting out.
Oh. Is it the Greeks?
I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Maybe they're like, that's not funny. We don't like butt sex jokes.
Well, yeah. Well, I think they'd be more offended by their hairy women, but, what are you going to do?
Oh, this sucks because I really want to watch this video.
Oh, Mr. E said he's dated 4 Greek chicks in his lifetime. All 4 of them wanted it in the butt in the first time. Huh. What?
Damn it. I don't know what's going on. It's just not going to let me play that video. Even trying to have it up on the screen. Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Fuck. I want to show this video.
Do you want to drop out and come back?
Yeah, let's see if that helps. I'll be right back.
I played the Spartans. All by myself. Sup, chat? Megatron's video is falling. Yeah, apparently his internet sucks. I will learn you to pronunciate. Yeah. Yeah, now I get to fuck up all the words.
All right.
Oh, there you are.
Let's if it keeps blinking on me is basically what it's doing.
It's not blinking, it's winking at you.
No, it's actually kind of blinking.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try to just play it and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
What?
Jack?
What?
I said I'm going to try to...
here. I can hear you.
Well, you got to... When we're having this kind of problem, you got to go, okay. You got to give me some kind of information that you heard it.
What? Wait, are you not a voice in my head?
Yeah, we're just not going to be able to play that. It really does not want me to play that. Fuck.
That's weird. Oh, he left again. Monkey, come back. I don't know any more of that song. Give you a thumbs up. What do you want, you picky bastard? Yeah, he can't see me. I gave him a thumbs up. Move along. We're trying, dude. Well, this is going to be riveting. Thank you for the donation, Nick the Enlightened. Thank you for the donation of the message. Appreciate that, man. I know it's supposed to be annoying, but it's a little funny. Yeah, it's funny if you're in the audience. If you're Monkey, it's enraging. The problem with Dan Crenshaw is you can't tell if he's winking or not. That's fact, yeah.
I am back, but I need to try to fix a couple of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like me to read an article while you're doing that, or you want me to?
We just talked to the audience for like 2 or 3 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fine. I shut everything down, so I gotta open everything back up. I'll be back in a moment.
Okay. Needs to move somewhere with better internet. I keep telling him that. Yeah, I'll get him to put the link in, Eagle.
Hey, if somebody wants to donate a couple $100,000 so I can move somewhere with better internet, I will take it.
We need Elon Musk in the audience. Jack Monkey's reading problem is a Walmart employee thing. Yeah, it's possible, I guess. They do want to know if you can't play the video, if you could drop the link in so they can watch it.
Yeah, if it won't work this time, I'll absolutely do that. But yeah, just let me get this set back up, guys, and I'll do it. If you want to go ahead and jump onto an article, you can.
Okay. Stevie J said, fix my dumb life while you're fixing things, please. Sorry, we got our own problems. Right. Let's see. First up, we got over at Sky News. Couple beheaded themselves with homemade guillotine in India. An Indian couple reportedly died by suicide after using a homemade guillotine to sever their own heads in a sacrificial ritual. Vinchia police added Hemumbai Makwana, 38, said to be a farmer, and his wife has been 35, apparently used the makeshift device in their farm hut sometime between Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. I'm wondering if they did it at the same time or if one went first and then was like, yeah, all right, why not? The couple first prepared a fire altar before putting their heads under the guillotine-like mechanism held by a rope. Police sub-inspector, something I can't pronounce, Jadija, told the Hindustan Times. He added, it is believed they pulled up the blades of the guillotine themselves and released it in such a manner that their heads fell into a havunakund. So that's a traditional fire pit, sometimes used in a ritual, during which offerings are made to please the gods. A note was said to be found nearby asking their parents to look after their children, ages 12 and 13, who found their torsos after returning home. The note also said their deaths were suicide and nobody else was involved. That totally would convince me, be like, yeah, okay, it's obviously a suicide. No, that would make me super suspicious. The paper added the children had been sent to live with their maternal uncle. Mr. Jadija said the couple had been praying to the god Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction, every day for the last year at a shrine they built on their property. Inquiries are underway to determine if the beheadings were part of a black magic ritual, but Mr. Jadija said he was ruling nothing out. So there you go. There's some weird shit going on. There's the link for you guys. Their kids got an A- in tech support. Yeah, well, dishonoring the family.
Thank you, Talbot Links. Thank you. It's okay on the name. I've had to deposit a check to an ex-tall butt before. I'm just the links in the chat. Well, thank you so much for that.
There was one while you were out earlier from Nick the Enlightened.
Let me see if I can get back that far.
Left a dono with no message.
Oh, Nick, thank you so much for the dono with no message. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. All right. What was happening there, Jack, is my two internets were fighting over each other.
Oh, they were fighting who could service you the best.
Yeah, neither one of them are very good at it, but both it was switching between the Starlink, which isn't supposed to be hooking up right now, and the
Well,
AT&T. And
It
yeah.
does what it wants.
Cryptic, thank you, says, thanks for the heads up, Jack. And Jay, thank you so very much. Nice to see you too. Always appreciate the stream. Not sure if you split donations or not. However, I thank you both. Nice to listen to after work. Well, thank you. Thank you for the donation and the kind words.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Now let's see, with those two not being so fucking possessive over my time, I guess, fighting like women over me.
Yeah.
If we can actually play this now. All right. Am I blinking in and out now?
I don't know. So far, you're okay.
So far, we're good.
Yeah. If you hear a sound like wee, then we're in trouble. But beyond that, I think we're pretty good right now.
All right. This is John Radcliffe up there, former head
That's
of
not John Radcliffe. That's some chick.
No. He's going to be talking to her.
Oh, okay.
He's going to be answering questions. He's on the Hill today, and this exchange happens.
In November of 2021, Dr. Fauci told Senator Rand Paul under oath that the NIH did not fund gain-of-function research at the Wuhan lab, despite having been explicitly told in an email in January of 2021 that NIH had a monetary relationship with the Wuhan Institute through the EcoHealth Alliance. During the committee's initial...
Which actually we knew before January of 2021. I just want to point that out.
Yeah.
Origins hearing. In March, I asked former CDC Director Dr. Redfield whether the NIH was funding or had funded gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute, and he told me, direct quote, "No doubt," unquote, NIH was funding this research in Wuhan, refuting Dr. Fauci's claims.
All right. Thank you, God of Cheese. Thank you so much. Who says, I'm behind, but either way, I miss you guys. Hearts. Well, thank you. Miss you too. Welcome back.
Yeah,
I'll start with you, Mr. Ratcliffe. Do you agree with Dr. Redfield?
I do.
Given what we know now, if you were in Dr. Fauci's position, would you have denied that the NIH's role in gain-of-function research at the Wuhan lab?
No.
Do you think that Dr. Fauci lied under oath?
Wait for this answer. This is the most political yes you've ever heard in your life. Do you think Fauci lied under oath?
I think that some of Dr. Fauci's testimony is inconsistent with some of the intelligence that we have that remains classified, as well as inconsistent with some information that is publicly available.
Wow, that was an amazing answer of going, yeah, he totally lied.
He totally lied. But did you notice what else he said there? He didn't just say, yes, he lied. He says that it's inconsistent with publicly available information, but also with classified information.
Yeah.
So that means even the stuff we already know, that's not the breadth of everything there is. Exactly. That remains classified, Sean. Yeah. What the fuck is classified? Probably much more damaging shit.
Yeah. No, the revelation's going to come out that the lab leak happened because Hunter Biden was smoking crack and set up the fire alarm, and everyone freaked out and ran out of the building, and he caught it somehow on the way, and he was patient zero of the outbreak.
Yeah, he probably was over there just sniffing everything he could. But yeah, not only the publicly available information, but classified information that Radcliffe had access to.
Yeah. Did you also see about the Senate report? Oh, by the way, could you drop that video link in the
Oh,
chat?
sure. Yeah, absolutely can. I heard about the Senate thing, but I didn't read about it. I saw that they had come out and basically again confirmed what we know.
Yeah. Are we allowed to talk about this? Do you know?
Depends.
Well, there's a word that's short for laboratory, And there's another word that implies that something doesn't retain water.
We can talk about the fact that that the general consensus right now is lab leak.
Okay. Well, bombshell Senate report. This is from the Daily Mail. Report says there have been at least 2 lab leaks in Wuhan that triggered COVID.
Shocking.
Yeah. Plus, new details claim China started working on a vaccine earlier than first reported. This was a 300-page report.
I wonder if some of that is what Radcliffe was talking about too.
I wouldn't doubt it. I caught this article, but I hadn't seen that testimony. And that's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, just because of that, I mean, I'm sure there's much more that went on in that hearing. I didn't get to watch it all, so that's the only clip I've seen from it. But yeah, Radcliffe up on the Hill saying, yes, that this came from the lab and that Fauci fucking lied about funding it.
There's a shocker. Well,
we know he lied about funding it.
Yeah, it's not exactly a newsflash to us. We've been covering this for a long time.
Their new answer is, hey. Sure, we gave him money, but it wasn't for that. They came out with that line, what, 6 months ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like, look, yeah, we gave him money, but it wasn't for gain of function. It was for the other stuff they do at the lab.
It was for sanitary napkins and gloves.
It was for dead names. Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyhow. Yeah, and it is, yeah, you're right, Bloodwing. It is a damn shame we have to watch what we say about it.
Yeah.
We can talk about the lab leak thing now because it's pretty much been confirmed. I mean, there's very few people, Fauci himself being one of them, who are still holding on to hope that it wasn't a lab leak. That we had that report not long ago, like, yeah, they swabbed the pens at the wet market that hadn't been used in quite a long time, and they found some blood with some COVID in it. Yeah.
That the blood belonged to an employee at the Wuhan Institute.
Right? No, what did it belong to? Like wolves or something? I forget what the fuck it was. But even then, it wasn't active cells. It couldn't have given it to anybody. It wasn't. Yeah. So there's still a couple of people holding out hope that, yeah, no, we weren't wrong when we lied for 2 fucking years about this. No, old guy gamer. It wasn't bats. I forget what it was. It wasn't the pangolins either.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It was some stupid bullshit lie.
Yeah.
That meant to throw people off.
No, at this time, you're talking about the people at the wet market probably had COVID, so it was probably all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
But for them to be like, yeah, we found it in this one place. Fuck off.
I'll drop that article link again. I recommend everybody read it. So, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. No one's going to go to jail for all that lying they've done, though. Don't worry.
Let me see if I can find the articles from just a couple months ago. We talked about it on here, but I just can't remember. Thank you, JB. Read first might be a bit gray, so heads up. Okay. Yeah, I cannot. I'm pretty sure I'll get in trouble for that one. So yeah, thank you for that. Appreciate it. And I appreciate the heads up. All right, here's the sample story. What animal was it found in? Jack, will you talk for a second?
Yeah. Raccoon dog. Find Fauci's innocence to be inconsistent with the criminal activity that he was involved in. Lots of criminals plead innocence.
Oh, yeah.
There's no guilty people in jails.
There it is. Yeah, raccoon dog is what it was. Genetic material from a raccoon dog.
Megatron has taken a short break. He'll be back with you after these messages. Like, share, and subscribe.
All right. Yeah. So there's the New York Times story if you guys want to read the one on the raccoon dog. Like I said, we already talked about it, but that is their last hope, is that this swab from a raccoon dog that actually hadn't been in the wet market for a little while. The swabs were taken after the wet market was all shut down. But we're pretty much, Fauci's even almost just said, yes, it came from a lab, when he's like, it could have been that somebody didn't actually leak it from the lab, but they accidentally leaked it from a lab without leaking it from the lab.
Yeah, he's danced around it so many times. The guy is just he's
There's video of him where he was flat out asked, do you think this came from a lab leak? And he goes, well, there's a couple of ways it could have come from a lab leak, but I don't think that happened, even though it could have come from that.
That's because he hedges. The guy's a piece of shit.
It's because
bitch.
They went so hard on there's no possible way it can be a lab leak. Look, we have these markers that show us that it wasn't human made. There's no way that a marker can have these spike cells, like the RNA spike cells. There's no way that you could have these on a thing that wasn't grown in the wild. And one of Fauci's things is that somebody could have brought it back from the wild and leaked it from the lab after having picked it up in the wild. That is a real thing, this idiot said.
Yeah. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Alex Jones. It was the gay frogs. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so fuck these people. We all know that they lied to us, and they just wanted to be honest. Their reputations are already destroyed, except for, look, nobody's going to go after them. The press is still trying to. That was the New York Times. That article I just gave you was the New York Times.
Yeah. Well, what's most disturbing, though, is they've destroyed the CDC's credibility. They've destroyed the credibility of a lot of vaccines in general, even the ones that actually do work.
Links, thank you again. Been fun talking Wuhan on YouTube. I'm part of the crowd calling a certain Peter that investigated the lab leak ball sack. Which ball sack is that? You don't have to donate. What ball sack are we talking about here? Okay. It's come out Mehdi Hassan may have plagiarized, Jack.
What?
Yeah. It's been a few years since it happened. It's back in 2000. Mehdi Hassan apparently had Matt Taibbi, how you say his name, on the show the other night, and even Matt thinks he did poorly. And somebody looked into it and was like, this guy's a fucking plagiarist. Not that it's going to matter. Not that it's going to matter. It's not. He's got his place on national TV. They're not going to run him out unless he does something stupid like come out and say that he believes that trans women are men. That nobody's going to care. Nobody cares about Biden doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
He's the president of the fucking country. Nobody's going to give a shit. All right. What else do we have here? Oh, don't care about that. All right. So there was another story up here. I didn't do these in order tonight, Jack, partially because of the shutdown of my internet.
I blame COVID.
I blame COVID too. Oh, fucking CNN. Oh, you fucking assholes. Jack, if I told you CNN was doing a story about how great illegals are, would you be shocked?
I would be so shocked.
I know, me too. It would just blow my fucking mind.
My mind is not just blown, it's mega blown.
Undocumented immigrants are paying their taxes today too.
Using whose social security number?
They love to use this picture. This is a chick. She was some kind of social media thing there for a while. She was a DACA recipient. Do you remember her?
Yeah, wish I didn't.
She had a video about paying her taxes a couple of years ago, and this is 2017 is the date on this thing. 6 years later, they're still dragging up this picture of this bitch for immigrants paying taxes.
You think she gets residuals on that?
Probably.
I would hope so.
Can I just say, I don't give a rat's ass if people who are doing illegal shit are paying their taxes.
But that makes them good, upstanding citizens who deserve all the free shit that they're getting.
Because
Right?
frankly, their taxes should be paid in another country where they belong.
Well, they'd have to go home, and they're not about to do that.
They're actually not paying their taxes.
Why is there
But-
so much hate in your heart, Monkey?
They're paying American taxes. It's a surprising fact that's often overlooked in the immigration debate.
Okay.
How many times we've heard this nonstop since this bitch made her video. Undocumented immigrants pay billions of dollars in federal taxes annually between tax returns filed and taxes deducted from paychecks. This is my favorite part of it, Jack. Experts estimate.
Yeah. More like
They
they're getting money back, right?
They pay billions, we think.
Maybe.
Yeah, we guessed. Here's a look at why and how it is happening with stolen Social Security numbers. The National Immigration Law Center breaks down a number of reasons why undocumented immigrants pay taxes, including it shows they're complying with federal tax laws.
Too bad they couldn't agree to follow the federal law that said don't break in our country.
Yeah, federal tax law they will go for, but not federal immigration law. You know why?
Because they don't give a fuck about our laws. They just want to freeload off of us.
Because we actually enforce tax law.
Oh, that's fair.
Capone went to prison forever for it. He died in there because of it. He didn't die because, illegal immigration.
He didn't die. He's hanging out with Elvis.
It can help them demonstrate good moral character if they later have an opportunity to legalize their immigration status.
Oh, good moral character, like don't steal, including resources.
Nah, bro. Tax return records could be used to document work history and presence in the U.S., steps that may help them be eligible for legal immigration status in the future if lawmakers pass immigration reform.
No, go home.
Do you know what none of these said?
Stop sponging off Americans by breaking in our country and stealing our shit.
No, I get what you're getting at, but if you're looking at reasons to pay taxes, none of them said it, to help the country. None of them said it's their duty as a citizen of the place they live. This was all about helping them.
Yeah, self-serving nonsense like it always is with these people.
How some pay taxes despite not having Social Security numbers. Now, I haven't read this yet, Jack, so I'm gonna guess. You can get a tax ID number.
Yeah.
And
residents have those.
Yep, the Dreamers, the DACA recipients, they get those because they are technically here. They're not even technically here legally. They're here illegally, but allowed to be.
Yeah, because their parents drag their asses over, which is still bullshit. Send them back too. I have zero sympathy for these people anymore. I'm so sick of the freeloading.
But it's not just because their parents brought them over. It's because their parents brought them over, and Obama said that they could stay.
Yeah, which is bullshit then too. I'm so sick of these parasites coming from other places and demanding things from us. It's ridiculous. Oh, you paid your taxes like you're supposed to? Fuck you. You're not supposed to be here. Go home.
Oh, I called this one right. Critics of illegal immigration have long argued that undocumented immigrants who pay taxes were able to do so because they're using stolen Social Security numbers. But millions of federal tax dollars are paid every year by people who don't have Social Security numbers at all. Instead, they file using what is known as an individual taxpayer identification number. Yes, which exists not for illegals, The Bipartisan Policy Center, a Washington-based think tank, notes that most experts believe that the vast majority of tax returns filed by ITINs, the tax numbers, are filed by undocumented immigrants. You know what they didn't mention here? You can steal those too.
Look, your hate facts have no place here.
Some non-citizens who legally immigrate to the United States also pay taxes using this method and get their identity stolen. In 2019, according to the IRS, more than 2.5 million tax returns were filed using ITINs, accounting for nearly $6 billion in taxes. I have an ITIN. I have
got
both.
a rock. Oh.
No, I have both. I have my social security number and the tax identification number. They're for different things.
Yeah.
In addition to filing tax returns, officials estimate that, again, with that estimate bullshit, that undocumented immigrants also contributes billions to Social Security annually through payroll deductions.
Yeah, payroll deductions. Yeah. Excuse me, I know we're outside the Home Depot, but can you 1099 me so that I can get my payroll deduction? Fuck off.
In 2010, for example, the Social Security Administration estimated that payments from unauthorized workers accounted for about $12 billion in tax revenue for Social Security. Yeah, fuck off with your nonsense. I don't care if they are the best taxpayers in the country. They don't belong here. A murderer who pays his taxes is not a better person because he paid his taxes. He's still a fucking murderer.
Oh, no, he's got this divine spark. The spark of divinity, because Nancy Pelosi said so, because he's a good upstanding person. You should just accept that, or you're a monster. Also, thank you, Evolved Potato. Just a little history, but Al Capone would have got off easier with mostly a giant fine that he could easily afford because the deal that he made with the government, but the judge did something close to illegal things and stopped him from pleading guilty. That would probably have been an illegal deal anyway. Thank you, the Joker. I'm crazy enough to take on Batman, but IRS, no thank you. Ha ha ha.
Right.
Actually from a comic. Yeah.
I'm just tired of this tax thing, Jack. You know what they never mention is how much illegals take from the tax system.
Yeah, because they are mooching off of every federal program that they can.
Yep. And not just federal, but state programs, which are often backed up with federal dollars.
Yep.
They take a ton. So stop telling me, oh, they paid tax. I don't give a shit. That doesn't change the fact that they're here illegally. Buster's Outlaw, thank you so much. Hi for Jack. He's high for you, man.
Hi, Buster.
All right. I think I might be done. Don't quote me on that, though. I never know.
Like that. Like to be done, wouldn't you?
Yeah, not necessarily. I mean, nope, don't care about that. There was a really good video that went around showing the difference between the male and female. We can just watch it real fast. It doesn't have to be all that great to see. But it shows the question on is, can a man become a woman? And it says no, end of story. And the reason for that is this. We've talked before about the difference between the male and female pelvis. The pelvis is different in men and women, period. And these newfangled archaeologists are like, actually, we really can't tell if it's a boy or yes, you can.
Unless you look at it.
You're just a liar. See, with the male pelvis, you can't even get this ball, which is the same size as the female one, through it. You know why, Jack?
Because science is sexist and transphobic.
Ours aren't made to push babies through.
Oh, it sounds sexist and transphobic.
I saw one video today where this guy's going, actually,
Excellent.
the most important organ to determining sex is the brain. So therefore, biological women are the same as trans women. Trans women are biological women because their brain tells them that they're biologically women.
What?
Yeah. That's a real thing.
I hate that our society is declining so horribly fast.
I hate that we just had an argument about believing the science and this shit is still going on.
Well,
This stupid ass debate was going on during the whole debate about you need to believe the science. How is that possible? How did the believe the science people not look at all these crazy motherfuckers? Look, be a trans woman. I don't give a shit, but you will never be a biological woman. It can't happen. That is the science. And stop telling me, no, the science doesn't say that. It's exactly what the fucking science has said for fucking hundreds of years and hundreds of thousands of years of our existence. I just don't get how those two things could coexist. How you had the media out there telling you, like, hey, science deniers. Meanwhile, they'd run stories about trans women being women. How do you do that?
Well, first you deny the science, discredit it because, biology, is that a real science?
They haven't even discredited it. They've just claimed that they have.
No, they discredit it by saying it's not real science.
They discredit it by pointing to psychological bullshit that doesn't even make sense. And then they'll do my favorite thing, Jack, and this is what that idiot did in the video I was just describing to you. There's studies that show that the trans woman brain more closely resembles the female brain. We've talked about this before because we understand science. The brain is directly affected by how you live your life. They can actually watch the brain change based on things that you do. So if you're running around there acting like a woman and you point to me and go, look, my brain looks like a woman's, like, well, yeah. That doesn't mean you can't get a boner because you have a dick, dummy. Anyhow, so Jack, got any stories?
I do. But first things first. Thank you, Travis Gardner. I think we need to stop debating this. Just mock. Yeah, well, debate doesn't work. They don't understand it, and it's better just to make fun of them.
Wait. What was that? We need to debate them?
No, I think we need to stop debating this.
Oh.
Just mock.
I disagree. I think mockery needs to be part of the debate, but they already have shut anybody up. So purposefully shutting yourself up further doesn't help.
Yeah.
Part of it still has to be the real debate.
But the debate should be all done in silly voices. So whenever you're talking to someone, hey, biology. So it should always be done like that. Debates would be way more interesting if it was just peppered with sarcasm.
That'd be more fun, but yeah, I hear you. I get it. I do. It doesn't do a whole lot, but I felt the same way about, all kinds of different topics I've talked about.
That's fair.
You got to have both.
Also, thank you, Kim Jong-un. You should follow my immigration plan and use them for target practice.
No.
Always an option, I guess. Probably not the top one, but it's up there. Thank you, Travis Gardner, again. The trans brain is like a woman's brain, so smooth. Yeah, I would think you won't want to
Yes.
make that argument. Like you're calling yourself dumb. I mean, articles. Thank you,
Well,
Travis.
actually, there's another part of the female brain argument there. Feminists have long argued that there's not a real difference between the male and female brain. You see, we're all basically a blank slate when we're born. There's no difference between the male and female brain. Well, how do you square that with there is a female brain?
Well, you take a male brain and remove logic and reason.
You can't have that men are generally smarter than women because we have a bigger brain. No. They're exactly the same. They're not, but they're exactly the same. Jack, why is the female brain smaller?
Because women are smaller, and because they have tiny girl brains.
But why do they have the tiny girl brains? You were right originally because of
you remove logic, reason, and accountability.
No. Thank you, Bloodwing. Buy the grandbabies and ice cream, my friend. I will do. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it, man.
I'm not sure what answer you want. I've given you the real ones.
You gave the real answer, and it is true. Women are smaller than men. They have smaller heads. They have smaller heads, so there's less room for a brain to be in there.
Yeah.
Are you telling me trans women, born men who have a male cranium, who have the interior size of their skull the same size as other men, their brain shrank?
Yes. See, part of the transition is going to a witch doctor for some head shrinking.
I guess. All right, Jack. Only one article is showing here for me because I had to reset everything. So if you had more in there, I can't see them.
Yeah, I've got them here. Let's see. Next up on my list was from Kotaku. Nintendo hacker will be punished for the rest of his life. We were talking about Nintendo yesterday, so this seemed prescient.
Mm-hmm.
In February...
Can you bring it on the screen?
Yeah, give me a second. I'll check my Streamlabs in between articles because I can't look at it and present this at the same time.
Sure.
Come on, share, damn it. Stupid buttons. All right, that's better. It's how it's working. So we were talking about how litigious Nintendo is. In February 2022, Gary Bowser, a member of the hacking operation Team Executor, a longtime target of Nintendo's lawyers, was sentenced to 40 months in prison for his part in helping run a business that reportedly earned him over $300,000. Remember how that one video that Dum Dum said that people would just make Nintendos?
Yeah.
That's how you do 40 months in prison. Thanks to a combination of time already served in good behavior while in prison, however, Bowser is about to be released and sent home to Canada. On the eve of his departure, he's awaiting transport to Toronto with a new passport. Bowser sat down for an interview with Nick Moses 05. Thanks, Torrent Freak. I don't know what that's about. To discuss the events surrounding his imprisonment and impending freedom. This is him over here. And I'm pretty sure I used to game with a dude that looked almost exactly like him, but like 10 years younger. As I said at the time of his sentencing, while Bowser was guilty of a crime and confessed this in front of a court of law, I still think it's interesting and important to examine the details of his sentencing, which show the extent to which companies like Nintendo pursue these cases through the American legal system and the severity of punishments handed out. While Bowser was convicted, served time in prison, and is about to be released, his punishment isn't over. In fact, he'll be paying for his crimes for the rest of his life because the damages he was ordered to pay Nintendo at the time of his sentencing, a total of $10 million, are so astronomical he'll likely never be able to make good on them. Bowser says Nintendo could take 25 to 30% of his income for the rest of his working life. They began the process while he was still in prison. Like many American inmates, Bowser was able to work for a job. That's essentially spare change. while behind bars, and over the course of his time at the SeaTac Federal Detention Center in Washington, he was able to pay back $175.
Real quick,
Look
at the
you.
beginning of this, did they explain exactly what his crime was?
No. But there's another article. I will open the link while this is going. Bowser was one of 2 men arrested in connection with Team Executioner, while commonly referred to as a hacker. In media reports, he actually confessed to being the company's salesman and reportedly made $320,000 over 7 years of work. The other French citizen, Max Larone, allegedly the leader of the operation, a role he denies, has managed to so far avoid deportation to the U.S. to face charges, though it's believed he helped the company make millions over the course of its operation. So let's go over here. Big piracy case is a very sad story because they got caught.
I'm so curious. I haven't heard of this story at all.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I remember vaguely hearing that guy's name before. Sentenced to 40 months in prison for his role in selling cheat and modification devices for Nintendo hardware. So he was selling mods for the physical hardware.
So like basically pirating the system.
Yeah, it's to allow for cheating and other modification. Nintendo thanks feds for sending hacker to prison for 3 years. 40-month prison sentence for creating and selling console hacking software and devices used to play pirated Nintendo Switch games.
That seems like a very specific law.
No, that's what he was found guilty of.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, it's piracy. It's just piracy is what he found.
But
what he went to jail for.
Not exactly. He built the stuff that you could use pirated software on.
I think he sold software and parts, not necessarily related.
No, but what I'm getting at is he didn't actually sell the pirated stuff. He sold the stuff to make it so that you could pirate it yourself. How can I put this? I'm going to explain it. Let's say you don't own a DVD player, but this guy brings you this thing. He's like, if you put a disc in here, you can watch it. See what I'm saying? And you didn't pirate the movie, but you allowed it so he could watch a pirated movie.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But it does sound like there were things that went into the system as well as software that would allow like an emulator, probably.
Yeah, that's probably what it was, emulator software.
Yeah, and I remember the old PlayStations. You could get a chip from Canada and wire it, solder it into the main, what do you call that, board?
Yeah, motherboard.
Yeah, you solder it in, and then it would allow you to play bootleg games. I think that's kind of what they're talking about here.
He had to break Nintendo's proprietary coding to make that happen.
Yeah,
that is patented software. I love my hacked Switch, but no chip needed. No, I get it, but 3 years, $10 million, that seems ridiculous.
That's to send a message. If you guys want to go down the rabbit hole, here's your first article that we were reading.
That's oof. All right.
Yeah, that whenever they do that, he probably was selling a lot of these things and probably helping facilitate finding the games on torrent sites.
300,000 over 7 years is only, God, 42,000 a year.
Well, he wasn't doing it for the money. Most of these type of people aren't in it for the money. Some of them are. That other dude probably made millions of dollars, but it's more about the principle. They don't think people should have to pay for it.
No, and I hear you, and I think they're wrong for that. I do believe Nintendo should be allowed to make money. I just feel like that is a horrible sentence for that. even if I agreed with the 3 years, which I'm not too bad on the 3 years, $10 million?
Well,
All
they
right.
probably figured out about how much money
No.
was lost on sales because each game is $60 or whatever.
They didn't even bother with that. There's probably some law, because we have this with everything, where it's like $1,000 per thing. So they were like, okay, you had 60 of that game that sold, that's $60,000 right there.
Yeah, well, what they usually do, from what I've seen of these kind of cases, is there's the price of the actual software or the object, and then the punitive that you're describing. So it would be both.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Meanwhile, yeah, so you end up paying $60,000 for what Nintendo, if they were actually out, it was $3,600.
Yeah. I mean, like they're out that 10-cent disc they made, but yeah, there's all sorts of weird rules and penalties. You do not really want to fuck with copyright and trademark because they will bend you over. The fines are astronomical for that.
Please understand, I'm not supporting this in any way. I do not believe in doing that. I really am one of those people who, if you have ROMs, they should be ones that you own. Don't play emulators with games that you don't own.
Yeah. This guy lived in the Dominican Republic too. So he was making about $3,800 a month in disposable income, according to this. And in the Dominican Republic, you can live like a fucking king off of that.
Not bad.
Yeah.
You just might want to move to a different place, because the Dominican Republic is, one of our little lackeys.
Yeah, they have extradition treaties. You want to be in like Tahiti, where there's no extradition treaty.
You'd have been better off in Canada.
Yeah, probably.
Anyhow, next one we get. And no, seriously, Snooch, I do not like that kind of stuff. Don't pirate games. I do wish game companies would go back, and several of them have started doing this, Jack, to demos so people can actually play it before they buy it.
Yeah, demos were awesome. Remember the little demo discs you got for PlayStation? They'd come with like the PlayStation magazine, or sometimes you could pick them up at like GameStop or whatever. Those things were great.
I used to get them with PC Gamer. They would have the demo discs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they quit doing that, other than they just were being dickheads. All right, next up. I have to switch browsers to do this.
Jack's producing right now, guys. We'll be back to the show here in just a moment. This is a good time to remind you, we're brought to you by you. Hit the like button, the share button. If you would, please consider donating to Jack or myself. The link to your Streamlabs is at the top of your YouTube chat. It is also in the description of each video. You can also find our Teespring stores to buy something nice for your loved one.
Indeed. And remember, you can donate to us via Streamlabs while we're off the air as well. So if you find us some music, you can just write us a quick note and we'll read it on the next show.
Speaking of which, I have one donation to get to as soon as it loads up here, because I'm producing now too. There we go. Thank you, John, who says, some YouTube video game controversy go down this rabbit hole. And he sent me a link. I will check that out.
Over at the Telegraph, single-sex schools can reject transgender pupils. Single-sex schools will not be forced to accommodate transgender pupils under new government guidelines set to be issued within weeks. This is in the UK. Head teachers of girls' schools will be told they can reject pupils who are legally male but identify as female without fear of legal action. The same rules will apply for boys' schools receiving applications from girls who identify as male. School leaders will also be told they can refuse to use different pronouns demanded by a pupil. It is understood. It comes after school leaders and governors met lawyers in recent weeks to discuss fears they could be at risk of discrimination claims from parents of trans-identified pupils if they refuse to accommodate them. A Department of Education source said single-sex schools can refuse to admit pupils of other legal sex regardless of whether the child is questioning their gender. Schools. What?
Let me get this, Keldrick. Thank you so much. Game stores used to have demo kiosks for systems and games. Those were great. I agree.
Yeah, those were great. Schools be reassured that they will not be breaching the Equality Act of 2010. If they do so, teachers will not be required to call children by their preferred pronouns. The source said there is no suggestion that a child who is questioning their gender identity will be forced to have to leave a single-sex school. The guidance on transgender pupils is being drawn up by Gillian Keegan, the education secretary, and Kemi Badenoch, the equalities minister. It will apply to all state and independent schools in England. This is a major change from what the English have been doing.
I'm being honest with you. If I was in high school, right, and we had single-sex schools, I would throw on a dress to go hang out with the girls. I absolutely would.
Fuck yeah, it'd be bosom buddies all day long, man.
And I would not even hide the fact that I was bullshitting.
No, because what are they gonna do?
It's real. I'm actually a girl. How come you're not taking hormones? Hey, I haven't decided that far yet.
Yeah,
how come you're rubbing on that chick's butt? I'm a lesbian.
Yeah, I'm just trying to feel comfortable with my identity, you monster.
And I even would have, okay, you have to change in a different change room. That's fine. I would just prefer to hang out with the chicks because they have the vaginas.
Yeah, and I would try and get in the locker rooms constantly.
I would try, sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, just a change in policy. This is a very long article to get to what I just told you.
And you know what? That's good because that kind of stuff does need to happen.
Yeah. So,
if they want to say it's the single sex school is based on biological sex, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. So there you go. Just another change. All right. Next story. Got too many tabs open. Millions and millions of tabs. From the Daily Wire. One father's nightmare battle for a 3-year-old son mom is raising, non-binary.
These stories are fucking heartbreaking.
They are, but unfortunately, it is also important to cover these because we need to know what's going on with these people. San Francisco dad, strike one, is fighting a nightmarish custody battle for his toddler son, who he says is being raised non-binary by his mother, who claims to be genderless. Mentally ill people creating mentally ill children. Harrison Tinsley, 31, is seeking full custody of his son Sawyer. You gave your kid a stupid name.
Oh, man, poor kid. He's going to be gay anyway.
Yeah. 3, who currently spends half his time with Tinsley's ex-girlfriend, the boy's mother. Sawyer's mother, 30, uses they, them pronouns for the boy and puts him in a dress and makeup. Photos provided by Tinsley appear to show.
He's 3 and she's putting him in makeup.
Yes.
A 3-year-old girl doesn't belong in makeup. What the fuck?
No, they got to whore him up. Sawyer also told his dad that his mother put him in princess shoes on a trip to Disneyland, a video of the conversation shows. Sawyer's mother may have thought about raising her son non-binary before he was even born. In what appears to be a Facebook post during her pregnancy, she refers to Sawyer as my sweet baby boy or girl or neither, if that's what you feel. So they're oh dear God, this poor kid. It's bad enough he lives in San Francisco and his name's Sawyer. Sawyer himself rebels against his mom and insists he is a boy. His dad says, good for Sawyer. No, rebel against that fucking name. The mother herself now identifies as non-binary, although she did not when she was dating Tinsley, court documents show. LGBT issues have been a major theme in her life. You ready for this?
I can see it, yeah.
She was adopted and raised by 2 older gay men in the Bay Area, where she still lives and runs an ultra-progressive nonprofit. Who didn't see that coming?
Right.
Oh, look, a predictable turn in this storyline. Gender confusion is not Tinsley's only concern for his son. He's also concerned for the child's immediate safety. Yeah, the kid lives in San Francisco. Back in 2021, Sawyer's mother was arrested and booked in jail for felony child endangerment.
Jesus Christ.
When then 1-year-old Sawyer fell off a bed during an altercation between the mother and her roommate. Police body cam footage viewed by the Daily Wire shows.
Real quick, Jack, let me get this. John, thank you. Also, here's another video game shit show. Watch at 2x speed. It's the Amico. Thank you. I will check that one out.
The San Francisco police gave custody of Sawyer to the mother's two dads for the night and put her on a psychiatric hold at the hospital. She was ultimately not convicted of a crime. During the psychiatric hold at the hospital, Sawyer's mom told a psychiatrist that she has borderline personality disorder, a condition that can involve impulsive and risky behavior. The psychiatrist later testified in the San Francisco family court.
How does she have custody of this kid?
It sounds like 50-50, but she, of course, has custody. She's the mother.
She should have just supervised visits from what we've heard.
She shouldn't even have that, quite honestly. Child Protective, if she has borderline personality disorder, that's way too dangerous. No. Child Protective Services investigated the police incident and concluded that Sawyer's mother was not a safety threat to her son. Her mental health was a complicating factor, but not a safety issue, reads the CPS report provided by Tinsley. Sawyer's mother was on 5 different medications for PTSD, mood stabilization, ADHD, and anxiety at the time of the CPS investigation.
Jesus fuck.
Sawyer's mom could be heard on the police body cam footage mentioning that she drank alcohol earlier the same day. Mommy had two peach Bellinis with dinner, she says.
She's on all of that medication and she's drinking with a child.
Yes. And she has borderline personality disorder. I wonder what's going to trigger something here. Sawyer's mom told police she is autistic. Her friends told police that she is manic depressive and has a more volatile alter ego named Lexi.
What? She's got DID too?
Yes. Well, she's got multiple personalities. There's a lot of reasons I think this lady shouldn't have custody, which is why I wanted to read the article. After Tinsley's relationship with Sawyer's mother ended, good for him, he wanted to be in his son's life, but he was not informed his son was born until a week after his birth, Tinsley said. He fought for over a year in court and was finally allowed to meet his son when Sawyer was 15 months old. Tinsley said the dad said he also fought to get his last name legally added to Sawyer's name. Tinsley moved to the San Francisco Bay Area for a shot at joint custody of Sawyer. When that was eventually granted, Sawyer's mother lashed out at the female family court judge on social media. A screenshot of her post appears to show. In December, a San Francisco family court held a trial with the potential of granting Tinsley full custody of Sawyer, but the judge ultimately decided to keep it 50-50.
Why?
Because judges are scumbags about this and always favor the women. Even when there's a shit show like this brewing.
You know, there's a whole thing out there about men not wanting to even be with their kids. It used to be that men automatically were granted their kids because we were the ones making money.
Yeah, they're the breadwinners.
We were the ones who had the ability to keep the kid fed. And that changed thanks to feminism. Good job.
Yeah.
And we just went full bore the other way and just like, women deserve it. How about we look at how the parents act and base it on that?
Yeah. Good luck with that. Sawyer's pediatrician, Dr. Danielle Alkov, works at a youth gender clinic that offers hormone therapy and so-called gender-affirming surgery referrals. She testified as an expert witness in court and said she's worked with children as young as 12. She also mentioned a nearby clinic that works with children as young as 3, Sawyer's current age. The court ordered that Alkov continue to be Sawyer's primary care physician.
Yeah, Sawyer's totally going to grow up with his wiener cut off.
Yeah, this kid's going to end up going on a murder spree, I bet.
His crotch is going to be as dickless as his name.
Yeah. Look, I feel bad for people with 2 last names. Sawyer, not a good choice. Although I did meet somebody named Nova once, so there's that. Tinsley's lawyer said he planned to present scientific materials demonstrating the harm of treating Sawyer as if he had no gender, but they ran out of time in court. During that trial, Sawyer's mother said in court that she had suicidal ideation multiple times in her life. That right there should have been a big strike against her, but here we are. In October, Sawyer's mother also violated Tinsley's restraining order against her in San Jose, according to communication between Tinsley and a deputy district attorney. Meanwhile, she has defamed Tinsley repeatedly, he said. Sawyer's mother has called the father of her child a rapist and even claims Sawyer is the product of rape and that Tinsley has raped other people as well, Friend told police. She began making these allegations when Tinsley started fighting for custody.
Shocking.
Yeah, this woman sounds a lot like Letity from Adonis's channel, that crazy bitch who's still in jail.
Frankly, she sounds like way too many women. I know so many women who they don't say there's no problem, no problems. And then as soon as there's a custody battle, suddenly he's an abusive, rapist, murdering cat killer.
Yeah, he's a stalker and he's a serial cheater and he's an abuser.
He does drugs 24/7, except for this. He didn't do it here.
Yeah. The court found Tinsley's denial of rape credible, according to court documents. Well, at least the court was smart on that one. Tinsley provided what he said are screenshots of his text with Sawyer's mother, some from the early days of her pregnancy, and they suggest a loving, consensual relationship.
And you let this bitch lie about rape and still have the kid.
Yep. Along with all the other things we've already gone over. 4 of Tinsley's ex-girlfriends also wrote letters vouching for his good character as a respectful boyfriend who never pressured them in any way. Good on them.
Wait.
Good on them. That's rare.
You got ex-girlfriends on your side too. Judge, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, because how often does that happen? The court also took it upon itself to schedule an upcoming hearing in June that will determine which parent gets to decide whether Sawyer gets vaccinated for the coof. Tinsley argues that Sawyer already has natural immunity. Yeah, he's 3. This is not killing 3-year-olds. And Sawyer's mother complained on social media about Tinsley being unvaccinated. Neither parent requested the new court date, though. Tinsley said during the previous trial, the judge forced Tinsley to answer whether he was vaccinated, court documents show. That's not the court's business. It's not a pressing matter before them. Tinsley said he spent all the money he ever saved on legal bills. His mother even contributed additional money, but funds are running low. He said he recently started a fundraiser in hopes he can afford to continue to fight for custody for his son.
Jesus Christ, man.
Meantime, he took off work on the days he takes care of Sawyer, reading to him, talking to him. You know, he spent time with his kid. And good for him. I hope this guy wins because that woman sounds insane. You know, like a woman.
Can you throw that link into chat if you have it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We were asked for it.
There you go.
Yeah, this is one of those ones that it's heartbreaking. We saw this there several different cases where the mother has decided to raise these kids as girls when they're boys or there's a non-binary 3-year-old. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. If you don't mind, I've only got 2 articles left that I want to go over.
Yeah.
One's kind of an update, so I know we're running a little long.
No, we're good. We got time for 2 more.
Okay. This is an update to what we were talking about yesterday. Real quick. Thank you, Lion Patriot. The C word is batshit insane. Yeah, she fits the C word for sure. Absolutely. And that was generous, dude. Thank you so much. Let me just write a thank you for that.
Is Cali a woman's state like here in Indiana? I would say worse. Cali is one of the don't go to California. Don't go to California.
Don't knock up chicks in California or buy property or really get involved in anything that's going on over there. It's just not worth it. Also, thank you, John. Just did a vanity search and found this website. Be careful out there. Had everything there. I'm not going to read the website, obviously, but I'll check it out. Thanks, dude.
You know, you just imagine this about California. It's run by Newsom, and one of their most prolific lawmakers is Scott Wiener.
Yeah.
Scott Wiener, the guy who his big first claim to fame was making it so it's not a felony to purposefully give somebody AIDS. To knowingly give it to somebody without telling them.
Yeah. That guy's a scumbag.
He is. He's a fucking piece of shit.
Some of his other things, too, like lowering the age of consent, stuff like that.
Yep.
All right, let's do an update here. From the Daily Caller. Alleged Chinese operative arrested by FBI for opening secret police stations attended ritzy Dem events.
No.
Here he is. Look, there's Chuck Schumer, Eric Adams from New York, a bunch of Chinese-looking dudes. Here he is with Representative Grace Meng.
Oh, I think she's one of the ones from the Bud Light commercial that the Dems did.
Yeah. By the way, apparently, according to some sources, him and the other guy both got released on their own recognizance.
That makes sense.
Yeah. An alleged Chinese Communist Party operative arrested by the FBI on Monday was pictured meeting with several prominent New York Democrats at swanky dinners and campaign events. A Daily Caller News Foundation investigation found. We just looked at the pictures. According to multiple Chinese language news reports and photographic evidence, Liu allegedly operated an overseas police station on behalf of the Chinese government. He was charged with obstructing justice by destroying evidence of his communications with a Ministry of Public Security official, just months after the FBI raided the offices of America Chengal Association, the nonprofit at which Liu previously served as chairman sometime in fall 2022. Multiple photos taken at events in New York City revealed that Liu met with Meng, Adams, and Schumer during events in 2022 and 2023. So there you go. There's some other photos of events here. I'm just going to drop the link. It's not that interesting beyond the fact that this guy seemed to have been at a lot of events where the Democrats were.
Odd.
Yeah, it's almost like that's predictable.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Chinese connection to the Democratic Party goes back to the Clinton years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Clinton got busted. Sorry. The guy what was his name? Johnny Wong?
That sounds right. Yeah.
It got busted for bundling a shit ton of foreign money to the DNC for Bill's first presidential run. And then they were like, no big deal. Oddly enough, 20 years later, turns out that Dianne Feinstein's driver was one of them.
Yeah.
An actual spy.
Weird how that happens, isn't it?
And then Swalwell. He's got spies in there, and the Chinese were trying to get him up to higher office. Oh, nothing to look at here. We got Chinese running around, secret police on our soil. Don't worry about it. Hanging out with Democrats.
Nothing to see.
It's almost like, and I'm just throwing this out there, they know where their bread's buttered.
Yeah, it's weird how we seem to be loosening a lot of the restrictions on China.
And let's see, Hunter goes and works for Chinese.
Huh. Well, are you saying there's some sort of connection there, Monkey?
I am, yes.
Oh. Huh. I'm afraid we're going to need more evidence than your right-wing talking points.
How many times do the Democrats have to be busted with Chinese spies before we realize they're inviting them?
I'm sure Swalwell will tell us.
You're right, Stevie. China. I'm saying it wrong. China. I love how Trump says it. I really do.
I know. It's funny.
It pisses off Democrats, and that makes me laugh.
Yeah. All right. The last thing I had is something I was requested to share with you, and it's going to involve a little bit of role playing.
Uh-oh.
So I don't know if you actually want to participate in this, but I could do it, but I haven't seen the show Friends in a long time, so I don't remember how everybody talks. Because Friends, the one where Rachel explores her reproductive options. And it's written like an episode. The dialogue.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on acting here.
All right, Ross and Rachel are in Ross's apartment. Ross, I have to tell you something. You know how we were recently together? Well, I'm pregnant. You're what? But we were on a break. Who cares? I wanted to talk to you about my options. I don't think right now is the right time for me to bring a baby into the world. What you mean? I'm just not sure I want to have kids at all. Rach, are you talking about abortion? If I don't want to be a mother, I don't owe an explanation to you or anyone.
Can we
Ross,
can we pause here for a second?
Sure.
This actually happened on the show.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Is this a real thing?
No, this isn't the actual dialogue, but what this whole situation played out.
Oh. Did it involve a coat hanger?
No. She thinks about whether or not she's gonna have it, and she decides to keep it, and then she tells Ross, and Ross is freaked out about it. Okay, you can keep going. I'm just curious why they chose Friends.
I don't know. The show was canceled, like a decade ago? Longer than that?
Not canceled. They desperately wanted them to keep going. They decided to end the show, quite a while ago.
Yeah, well, it stopped being funny after a while. I mean, nothing. Ross, very whiny. But I'm a good dad. I have that one kid with my lesbian ex-wife. Rachel, that does not mean I should have a child with you. Ross, but all life is precious. I don't know what I would do if Marvel the monkey was aborted. Marcel the monkey.
Marcel, yeah.
I don't get that one.
Ross had a monkey named Marcel at one point.
Oh, I thought he was talking about his kid. And I was like, wow, that's kind of racist sounding. Meanwhile, Chandler and Joey are in their Barca loungers. Hey, Rach! Ugh! Could you be any more upset? Is it PMS? God, no! I'm sick of certain men thinking they know what's best for women and wanting to control our bodies. This is very natural dialogue. This is exactly how people talk. If it means more bodies running around on Baywatch, then I'm all for it. What? No, I'm talking about the right to choose, Joe. Pregnancy, birth control, that sort of thing. My birth control was girls not talking to me for the first 24 years of my life. End scene. Rachel's on a date. So what do you do for a living? I suppose I could give the baby up for adoption. There are so many families out there who can't conceive and would be overjoyed to raise this baby. Phoebe said you were charming. But I wanted to be a part of this child's life at all. They will likely want to find me one day, and I'll be in Paris doing fashion and not wanting that. On second thought, I'm not sure adoption is the right fit. I like how your nipples are very erect. Is that from the show? Her date says he likes her nipples being very erect.
No, but there was a point in the show, this was big in Hollywood for a while, where they actually had fake nipples for women.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You didn't know this? It was a fashion trend for a while for women to run around with tight shirts and hard nipples. There's like 2 seasons of Friends where their nipples are hard constantly.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really cold in there.
No, that was a fashion trend for a while. You could even see it on like Sex and the City and a couple of other shows. Yeah.
I just assumed they all had the air conditioning on. Monica is fiercely cleaning the table at Central Perk. I bought antibacterial wipes. I can only do 3 voices. Deal with it. Mon, you're getting all floppity again. There's so many risks associated with pregnancy that are not in the mainstream conversation. Pregnant women can develop preeclampsia, postpartum depression, or even deliver multiples. Children might be a blessing for some, but for me, the positives may not outweigh the potential problems. Ick. Can you imagine the mess twins would make in your house? My mom had twins and then she killed herself. Oh, that's fucking dark. Rachel's at Central Perk. Rachel, thinking out loud, what am I going to do? I feel so lost. Maybe there's part of me that thinks having a baby's a good thing. It could be nice to have someone to love and to teach to be a decent person. Gunther. Hello, Rachel. I heard you maybe going to have a baby. If you do, and I support a woman's right to choose either way, I'll rearrange my entire life to help you raise it. What? Oh, God, no. I'm definitely getting an abortion. Who the fuck is Gunther?
Gunther is the bartender. Does that... Wait. Katie, whatever, is a comedy writer. Is that what that says?
Yes. A comedy writer with words and reductress. The belladonna and her annoyed dog's face.
Um,
Did you see her? Her picture's up here.
I have no proof that woman is a comedy writer.
I don't know, but Frosted suggested I subject you to this, and I thought it'd be a nice thing to do.
Well,
It seemed a lot funnier in my head to do it, but now it just seems sad and mean.
it would have been okay, I guess, if they hadn't have actually done this as kind of a storyline on the show.
Oh, I did not know that.
She got pregnant, and she does have it doesn't take very long, but she has the conversation about whether she should even keep it. It makes no sense to do this with friends, is where I'm stuck.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find a picture of that chick because this is her only article.
Maybe do that with Full House or something. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be weird.
That was not funny at all. Not funny. This is fanfic, pure fanfic. They're just throwing in famous lines from each character and are quickly breezing through each character's traits. This is just bad fanfic. Again, though, I mean, if you were doing fanfic, one, the different traits are from all over. I don't think I ever once saw Monica clean up at Central Park. That makes no sense. In her apartment, maybe. Because even then, they make the big deal about what a clean freak she is, but you don't see her cleaning all that many times.
Yeah, it's weird. This is the
oh
chick
my,
that wrote it.
That chick hit the wall a couple years ago,
huh? Yeah, she's not hideous, but like down here, that's a hideous picture. I don't know. If
no,
that's the same chick.
yeah. I hear you're not hideous, but she was cuter 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But that looks like a forced smile.
Well, maybe she read her own comedy writing.
Yeah, she's like, I'm smiling because I have to. Even though Mr. Mittens is currently pooping in her cereal right now because that chick doesn't. She's not married.
That it was just. I mean, of all the. Good night, Blood. Take care, bud.
Have a good one, Blood. Hope you get better soon.
It just makes no sense to do that one. You know what? They could have done one with like Seinfeld. Do it that way. Because Elaine and Jerry used to have a thing.
Yeah.
Have them have a fling real quick. Good God, man.
Yeah. I didn't know this was actually an episode. Like, I didn't really watch this show.
Sure.
It's one of those things that was on occasionally when you go somewhere.
And again, it wasn't even really an episode because the episode 1 handled it much better than that.
Oh, hold on. Let me be shocked by that.
And then the lines that they're pulling together, I'd like the floopity thing. That's a line from like season 1, if I remember.
I'm kind of surprised Smelly Cat wasn't referenced.
Right? That was so horribly bad.
Now, it could have been funny if the cat got pregnant and they were talking about getting the cat an abortion, but this was just dumb and kind of sad. I feel bad for this lady.
By the time she does talk to Ross in the episode, which actually I think it's like in the next episode or the episode after, she's already decided to keep it. Anyhow, yeah, she decides she wants to keep it in the episode where we all find out she's pregnant.
Did she sit around navel gazing about it for like an hour, talking to randos about it?
Actually, the way they did it was really cool. She's not positive she's pregnant, so they take another test, and Phoebe tells her she's not pregnant, and she gets really sad about it. She's like, and Phoebe goes, "No, I'm just kidding. You're actually pregnant." And she's like, "It shows you really wanted it."
Yeah.
Which is kind of fucked up, because if she didn't want it, that would have been mean as shit.
I think Sonny handled it better, where Mac thought he knocked up that pro-life protester.
Oh, that one was great too, yeah. Oh, this was just a test? And I failed? Oh, God, yeah.
Thank you, Keldrick. Everybody talks about postpartum depression. They use it to excuse shitty behavior even. Fuck off. I agree. All those things that they don't talk about. They bitch about complications constantly.
Dangerous says, doesn't remember abortion being referenced. it's not like full on brought. Well, maybe I'll have an abortion. It's talked about in the episode at the wedding, where everybody finds out, and she takes the second pregnancy test. Trust me, I know my friends. Jack, on that, we're gonna wrap up. I should do a game stream. I just don't know what to play.
Yeah, you should. Fuck.
I'm tempted. I am so tempted to just fire up some 7 days. I haven't played 7 in a while, and I miss it. And I know it's coming. I know it's coming back. Maybe I'll do a stream. Yeah, we'll play some 7 days, and we'll talk about all the new stuff that's coming. Oh no, you're right, Bubba. Hey, Bubba caught me. We're playing Phasmo because it's Tuesday night. You're right. So we'll be over playing some Phasmophobia on twitch.tv/Ranting Monkey. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for the donations. You guys are so fucking cool. We appreciate everything you guys do for us, whether it's watching, getting your friends to watch, or donating. It's all so kind. Anything you want to shield, Jack?
I'll drop a link to something. I don't fucking know. Thank you guys so much for the donations. My life's kind of trying to get back on track, so I should have some videos out later. Hoping to have a patron video up later today or tomorrow, and some videos on the comic channel. I am filming some unboxings here for Get Roll for Sandy back up and going. But yeah, I'm just behind on everything. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about the issues earlier in the show, Jack. It's been a long time since my two internets have fought with each other. That's why I didn't even look for it at first. But I look, and Starlink is the one I'm using. I'm like, that's not right. Technical issues, guys. It is what it is. Nuts. I'm not being mean. If we are getting on early enough that if I can, maybe we'll still do a 7-day stream where we talk about what's coming with 7 days, because I have a lot to say about that. Some of the changes are just why? Just why? The water. Why fuck with the water? I don't understand. But we'll get into that if we get to a 7-day stream. But we are going to be playing some Phasmophobia. That is twitch.tv/Ranting Monkey. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
I'm always glad to be here. But thank you, John. It's a toxic. I'm not reading that out loud. Thank you, John. Appreciate the heads up.
Guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll see y'all next time.
All right, bye, everybody.
Women aren't funny is what I just heard. That woman is stupid. I don't know.